So I love Don Hertzfeldt. I've been a fan of his. I watched Genre, I watched Rejected, I watched The Meaning of Life. Like I've watched everything basically that he's made. And I can forgive some of the problems with this just because of how much I love him. But this movie is fucking great. This is one of those things where watching it like made me feel more interested in film as an idea watching it. Like everything that he does in this movie with the dialogue between the characters, like, oh, we have this child who vaguely understands what's happening and this adult who is trying to talk to a child, I think is really interesting. And then every time they hit a joke note in it, especially everything involving people getting transported into outer space, is really fucking funny. Like he does such a good job of straddling that line of making you feel bad and making you feel good over the course of it. Like, I'm gonna count them. And she starts pointing up at the bodies.
At the bodies burning up and re-entering the atmosphere.
I'm annoyed about the fact that they absolutely could have stopped this asteroid from hitting the Earth, given the technology that they had, but that it's a plot point, so I'll allow that to stand. Okay. But it was so funny and so well made. And when you think about the fact that this is one guy and a couple of voice actors, like that's so interesting. Like you were able to make something this affecting with 3 people. Like,
no, that is by far the most impressive thing about this entire thing, is that it's one guy and he drew everything, he did all the sound, he recorded all the voices, he did it all himself.
That's how he does. That's how he does it.
This is auteur theory boiled down to its absolutely essential point.
There's no doubt that this guy is talented, but I'm going to disagree with everything Tad just said and say that this didn't affect me in any fucking way, shape, or form.
Oh,
like I didn't even think this was that funny. It didn't have any kind of I didn't have any emotional reaction to this. I thought it was like, I could see what this guy was doing from like frame 1, and I was like, okay, this guy's funny. I mean, he's smart, he's talented. And then I was like, all right, so now he's just going to masturbate in front of my face for 17 minutes.
This is one of those things. This is one of those things where this is one of those things
you
where
are so wrong.
It's not my taste. It's not my style. I don't. This is for.
That's not the same.
As somebody who really enjoys this, let me jump in on that, which is I completely understand where Jared's coming from. Like I can totally see someone watching this, and I don't know what your history is with him or not, Jared, but like
I like the banana one. That was funnier.
I'm a banana. Yes.
I'm a banana.
I can totally watch someone come into this and go, no. Like I think this is something that you can absolutely dismiss out of hand.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's not for me. It's for you.
Well,
guys.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like you're dismissing it because it never connected with you in the way.
Me in the slightest.
Yeah, and I think that's completely valid. Like I think that's a completely valid way to view this. Like this is a divisive thing. There are people I know, people I'm friends with, who would watch this and go, what the fuck? Why would you make me watch this?
So he made like weird sequel to this, and I saw
two of them actually.
There's three episodes total.
Part 2, part 3.
I started watching.
I got to see one of them at Sundance, like the premiere.
I started watching
the whole time. The same thing. I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't want to watch this.
I started watching part 2 and I stopped because I didn't want it to color what I was saying about this. And I'm definitely gonna watch parts 2 and 3 after it. But same like, here. I don't disagree with Jared, because if it doesn't connect with you, it doesn't connect with you. Like that's a incredibly valid idea. Like, and maybe that's kind of, I think, what this show is about on a certain level, is whether or not something connects with you. Like I didn't like the last movie, and you guys did. So,
Well,
like I'm not gonna shit on Jared for saying that he doesn't like it, because that's what we're doing.
Well,
Is
like
we're
the
just
last
talking
film.
about what's good for us or not.
The thing about surprising about the last film was that I was ready to dislike it, and I ended up being charmed by it. And that's what's great about movies. This one is like the emotional content of it, I thought was less important than, and this is just my perspective that I'm kind of a sci-fi head, right? This has more great little sci-fi ideas in it than a dozen films.
1000% agree with you.
Yeah, they keep playing with great ideas that you see other films struggle with, and
it's kind of like Rick and Morty, the way they throw away more ideas in a half an hour of Rick or 20 minutes of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, exactly right.
That could be 8 movies, you know.
Every time she says a new color and it changes the color in the background, is so fucking cool.
But you guys may be right, but like it's coming too fast. Then, like I just can't digest it. I'm like,
watch it again.
Give me, you know.
Yeah, I watched it twice.
You might want to absorb it a little bit. Yeah.
So I've seen it twice. I've seen it twice now, and the first time I was just sort of enthralled with kind of Scott, like you, like the sci-fi of it all. It was just like, man, so many good ideas whizzing past. This is so clever. The way he used the little kid's voice and built the story around it. I just thought it was terrific. Rewatching it, I realized it's really, you know, it is all that, but it's one disturbing idea and image after another.
No, it never gets less uncomfortable.
Which is the genius of it. It's like that's what makes it funny, and that's what makes it a great film.
Now,
because the climax is when they send her back, and she's obviously on the.
She's in the snow.
Years back.
They fuck up and then they
fuck up.
Oh my God, they're gonna leave her there.
I mean, I read about he just recorded his.
I wish they had. I wish they actually. That's one of the.
You thought that you wish that was the ending.
Yes, I wish. I wish they had just left her.
You can't kill a little kid or a dog, Dad.
You can. You can kill a little kid or a dog. John Wick, the entire thing is based on killing a dog.
I understand.
I think these two have something in common, John, and that is that they don't have a beginning, a middle, and end. I don't think this movie does either. Like it's just, I don't know.
It certainly sets up that joke at the beginning. It says time travel is very dangerous, so I'm going to bring you to the future with time travel right now. And then she goes. Then when they send her back at the end, it's a callback from way beginning of the film.
I actually had to go back and. I did go back during this film and watch the first half again because I was like, who the fuck is the computer bitch talking right now? It's her. It's a version. It's a clone
her
of
granddaughter clone.
Yeah.
Well, you do, and also you do.
It's just like it goes so fast. Like I am Emily, version 3. And I'm just like, okay, I can't keep up with this shit, dude. Like,
you do see a clone end up back in time too. Like they show that as well.
Standing in the snow.
They set it all up in the front part of it, and then when she ends up there, you're like, fuck.
And Hertzfeldt leaves that little girl standing in the snow for a long time.
Enough,
like, oh no, and you think it's going to be the end.
Enough to get into laugh. Then they bring her back. That's the thing.
I thought this guy made this.
That is comic timing, man.
I thought this film was about, it's the stories about the daughter and the clone and, the girl and the clone and going in the future and talking about this. But really, it's about the future of just dealing with kind of this inhuman technology that they keep. It gets more and more inhuman as it goes. Like, these people are taking discount transports and going and end up in orbit and dying. And or this story here, this story here is like, we have a clone of this guy.
Yeah, it's about it. This movie, this is about classism. Like this is literally
classism
about
never
classism.
leaves this thing, but it's also about technology for its own sake and how that's not a good thing.
Well, technophilia.
Yeah. And that's the theme. It hits over and over again. It's like we have this great stuff, but it keeps fucking up because it doesn't care about people. And it's like that's what it's all about.
I thought a lot about Portal and Half-Life and GLaDOS watching this, but I don't know about you, Tad.
Yeah, this movie could have used a GLaDOS.
Yeah,
like, I think this movie could have used a GLaDOS.
Could you quickly explain what that means?
Yeah, help.
There's a video game series that at a certain point sort of orients around this artificial intelligence in the same way that this movie kind of technology running amok, and it's constantly like fucking things up because it wasn't designed very well. But it's got this sort of charming robotic English accent.
Yeah,
That
it sounds
that-
familiar. It sounds like we just saw it.
It's HAL 9000 if HAL 9000 was slightly more malicious.
Yes.
And more charming, probably.
It's slightly more
yes.
Yeah.
It's slightly more in your face about what it's doing. So when you're listening to it and it's like the cake is a lie, you believe the cake is a lie. Like that's literally a thing that you believe in that. And then you get to the end of the game and there's a cake. And it's like, oh no, the cake wasn't a lie. You just hate me. And I feel like this movie could have done with one of those outside actors, because this movie is entirely about two people.
No, there's no antagonist.
The antagonist is
technology. That's my
history
argument.
Is technology.
This movie's based on he was coloring with his niece and he recorded her and then he fucking like made the movie around it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. He started with the audio.
They really?
He built the movie around it, right?
Yeah, he recorded her. I'm sure he was coloring certain things to get her to say things that he wanted, but he was like coloring with her, recorded her, and then built the whole movie around what she said so that it would make sense, and all his little stupid jokes would make sense when he cut back and forth between her voice and the fucking actress.
Totally works.
This is how most most animations are made.
Yeah, pretty much.
You record
Now,
it's not. They're scripted and have actors.
Well, up until The Simpsons, animations were made by animating everything, and then the actors would go in and lay the voices over what the mouths looked like.
Not now.
And then after The Simpsons started, where they would record the audio first,
it's
and then go have
it's a radio play that they actually animate against, basically. Now, speaking of The Simpsons, this kind of contrasts this the couch gag that he did. This is like it was done the year before this came out.
You're gonna have to put that in.
I will. I'm putting this in.
The weirdest freaking.
No, but it's also very
also coolest.
Yes. The Hertzfeldt is a great. He has a great.
The weirdest is that weird Italian one with live actors.
That was pretty. The English one with a live.
I haven't seen that one.
Great. But anyway,
for
what it's worth, though, I thought
the Italian Spider-Man fucking.
There's Italian
also
Spider-Man's pretty good. Yes, but he has it's weird because he he's an animator, but he also, I think he can communicate with heart. I think that there is a sentiment and a sadness to the Simpsons thing, and this is like this times 10. There's a sentiment.
Genre and Rejected both have that same heart. That's the same. Oh, I can't do this thing that people are expecting me to do. It's like I wrote I'm a consumer whore and how, and they were like, no, we don't want your fucking.
You don't want your commercial.
We don't want your commercial.
Yeah. Which is the first Hertzfeldt I ever saw was that Rejection.
2000 Rejected is the original like viral content.
Oh my god, that put him on the map, man.
Is that the banana one?
Yes.
Yeah,
that was really charming. I love his style too, with the little under.
That one makes sense. This one,
the upside down smile thing he does with the mouth. It's just charming.
My spoon is too big.
I am a banana.
I just
the Learning Channel.
That one is
really clever. It was really interesting to look at. It moved along fairly well. It had an overwhelming sense of sarcasm and cynicism and melancholy, and I was here for it. Yeah. And then the little girls.
I 100% agree with Chris about that.
Also, I think at this point, I wrote down the start of this thing. We have been talking longer than running time of the film. I think we did it. Right. Congratulations, guys. We actually
guess what? I've been pushing it forward specifically because of that.
Watching the clock. All right. Well,
big thumbs up. I want to see more of his shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch parts 2 and 3 very soon.